Alright, so the finals has released patch 1.5.5 and it's yet again another step in the right direction for the game. Right off the bat, one thing I don't want you to miss is the note about the future, where Embark clearly states that Recon Sense needs an overhaul. Thank you for communicating that you're aware of it and you're working on it. Sometimes that's all we need. Just acknowledge an issue, take the time to make a proper fix. I'm good with that. So I love when devs do this, and Embark did it. Right here, don't miss it. Recon Sense is boring. It can't be countered, it makes so many other aspects of the game dull, and it needs to be changed. So moving on from that, let's see what actually did get changed today. So to start off, a hit to revive invulnerability. When you res someone before, they had 1.5 seconds to move around before taking any damage. That has been cut in half to 3/4 of a second now. I think it's a good change, especially for the defibs. It was just too strong. Every meta medium used defib. It had to be knocked down a notch, basically. Way too much reaction time and too big of a safety net. I still think that many medium players are gonna keep using the defib. This doesn't make it unusable or anything like that. It just not quite as good now. You can't just res people in the middle of combat and they can slide out of view or something like that. Now there's more time to kill them again before they are safe. From there was changes to the medium revolver, including a buff to its accuracy when aiming down sights, which is wonderful, but also there was a nerf to damage, like the fall off range of the damage. So basically your revolver will do less damage to opponents starting at 23 meters away now, instead of 35 meters. How much isn't really stated, like how much damage reduction there's going to be, but it's still a nerf no matter what. It seems like they really want the revolver to be used in close to mid-range only and not really used for highly accurate chip damage from far away. Moving on from that, the medium grenade launcher was buffed, which is cool. It doesn't really change anything too much, but I mean, I use this weapon. It's really fun to use. The time to kill math, I think, is pretty much the same here for everybody. Doesn't change anything there, but obviously increases its poke potential, which it's really good at already. So good change there. A big change, kind of, I guess, is just because the weapon's so popular, but the FCAR damage was reduced. It's an ultra popular weapon now, and its decreased damage doesn't change any time to kill math, unless the target's already dead or already damaged, of course. But it makes a difference in longer engagements and poke type engagements, things like that. In a straight up 1v1 fight, absolutely no difference. The results will be the same. So it's a nerf, but nothing crazy. Just makes one of the most popular guns in the game a little bit worse. Another medium nerf is to their Guardian turret, where it loses like 7-8% of its health, which is fine. I mean, turrets never bother me too much unless there's 3 of them placed at once. Just a solo turret's not a big deal, but I think its HP's pretty much fair now, where it should be. Yeah, sometimes it feels like it takes a few too many shots, but anyway, this will help fix that. 7-8% nerf. The heavy nade launcher damage is actually increased, likely because the weapon's hardly ever used, but this will help it out a little bit. Nothing crazy. I don't think this suddenly becomes meta because it got 3 more damage, but it's something. Now, if you do get some nades in on the point, you might do a little more chip damage, but that's about it. Some changes to throwing knives is whatever. I mean, almost no one uses them, but this increases their accuracy when you're, jumping or falling or sprinting around. So it is definitely a buff, but yeah, this is probably the hardest weapon in the game to actually use effectively, consistently, right? So, and I think they're supposed to be like that. They're a really cool weapon, a very high skill weapon. This is just buffing them because they would go all over the place sometimes when you're jumping around. So buff there for throwing knives users. And then there's a big change right at the bottom of the patch notes here. So matchmaking, everyone's favorite. Let me just read it out. So Embark updated matchmaking configuration in tournament and ranked tournament modes to help ensure closer matches by skill rating. Basically, tighter matchmaking. If you're silver, for example, you should hopefully be seeing more bronze, silver, and gold ranked players instead of diamonds and top 500. Trying to keep the ranks more in line and matches more equal. I totally see what they were trying to do with their other rank system, but I think for a new game, it was just too much risk. So I really like this change. Ranking isn't always the best way to actually assess someone's skill level, especially in a team game like this, but we'll see how this change feels. Maybe I'll actually try some ranked again today and just kind of see what's going on. But overall, look, great patch. Embark are, they're methodically taking shots at things that are considered overtuned and bringing them a little bit more in line. There's no insane nerfs or big changes. This is just kind of like a calm, measured response. Certain members of the community, of course, are already freaking out. They're praying that their extremely dull Recon Sense doesn't get gutted, but honestly, I think it's the only ability in the game that really has a big issue still. I'd say this is definitely a W patch, big win, no complaints here. Also at the top here of the patch notes, there's a survey available for solo banquet mode that, everyone should kind of fill out if you've played it. They want our feedback, and they're actually using it, so give them some. If you're pissed off about something, you don't like something, tell them. Just, be civil about it, I guess. Constructive. Anyway, short and sweet review. As always, for those of you that would rather digest patch notes this way instead of reading them, you can just watch this little video. So appreciate you guys that do watch, and I'll see you guys in the arena.